They say you can't run away from your problems, but you can walk away from the noise to find your signal. We came to Mexico to escape the Vegas burnout, but we realized a vacation is just a temporary fix. We didn't need a break, we needed a blueprint.
In this final chapter, we're closing the loop on our journey and showing you the 5D compass method that changed everything. From the chaos of the hustle to the peace of Purépero. This is a transformation. We're showing you how we changed using the 5D compass in action. 5D compass in action.
We are transitioning right now.
Right now.
We aren't just content creators showing you a day in the life. We are guides showing you a map using the 5D compass method. Because looking back at the footage, we realized something huge.
Huge. We realized we didn't just go to Michoacan to eat tacos. We went to test our signature framework. We went to see how the 5D compass method actually works when you're tired, emotional, and out of your comfort zone.
And spoiler alert, it definitely does. But not exactly in the way we thought. We thought we were going there to fix burnout.
But we ended rewriting history.
Already did up the training test. Turns out I'm his.
Son ago. You didn't know he was your son? He looks just like you.
Exactly. We went from surviving our timeline to aligning with our core frequency.
So buckle up. We're breaking down the 5 pillars: balance, burnout recovery, consciousness, communication, and consistency. This isn't just a day in the life in Mexico.
This is raw, unpolished truth of how we healed wounds we didn't even realize existed.
Let's rewind to day 1. We landed and we were exhausted from traveling all day. Vegas was showing us life in the unknown, and we needed a break.
I was holding on to so much heaviness. My mind was racing. I was trying to control the unknown of bags and logistics. I was trapped in my little box of exhaustion and control.
And that's where burnout recovery had to kick in as a practice.
Right? We used the 2 B's and 3 C's immediately. I had to stop, meditate, take 3 deep breaths. I had to realize that recovery isn't about everything being perfect around you.
It's about reclaiming your energy and restoring your alignment, even in the unknown and exhaustion.
And the ultimate test, my birthday.
The big day.
I never thought I'd spend my birthday in a cemetery.
But welcome to the culture shock.
Serious shock. It was Dia de los Muertos.
Los Muertos.
People were partying, playing music, honoring ancestors, and my logical brain had to expand. I kept thinking, wait, some of these ancestors caused trauma. Why are we celebrating them? It opened my mind and pushed me out of my comfort zone.
That's the consciousness pillar hitting you hard. Awakening awareness. You were seeing a different way to view death and life.
It opened my mind. I realized that holding on to this perspective was feeling heavy. The people in that cemetery were honoring their past, and they were laughing and sharing memories.
Laughing is the best medicine.
It is.
Serious all of a sudden.
And that moment shifted my essential rhythm. I stopped trying to understand it logically and just felt it. I realized I could honor the lineage without carrying the weight of it.
That's the shift. You went from this is different to this is beautiful. You found presence in the place you least expected it.
My heart bloomed in a graveyard, Mikey.
Only you. But that cleared the space for the real work. Because once we cleared the burnout, we had to face the past. This was the last place our family visited before my dad left for the States years ago.
That is a heavy memory.
Very heavy indeed. It was loaded with the pain of separation. For years in my mind, that place represented our family being separated.
So, we applied the pillar of balance, returning to your natural rhythm. We didn't avoid the painful memory. We walked right into it.
We call this active replacement. We didn't stand there and cry about the past. We brought fruit. We brought you. We brought laughter.
We brought the vibe.
We were sitting there eating, and it hit me. I looked at the fruit in my hand. I had a slice of pineapple and a slice of watermelon.
The pineapple and the watermelon.
You told me right then that pineapple represents my Mexican culture. The watermelon represents your Alabama roots.
And we were eating them all together.
Boom! That was a soul's navigation right there. We weren't separated by borders anymore. We were blending our worlds.
I watched you walk around that beautiful water, looking at blue dragonflies and all the ducks, and I knew the old memory was gone.
It was overwritten. The water wasn't taking me away from my dad anymore. It was carrying away any negative emotions.
We prove that you can consciously create a new reality. We talk about communication in the 5D compass as speak, listen, and connect with heart. But sometimes speaking doesn't work.
Especially with my dad.
We have to be real here. Your dad has a lot of walls.
Big walls. A fortress built brick by brick. And it's not because he's mean. It's because he was hurt.
No la voy a conocer a papá. Mañana que ustedes ya se vayan, ¿qué?
He has a story about his own father hitting him so hard it broke his jaw.
That breaks my heart every time I hear it.
That trauma created a silence in him, a toughness. He protects himself.
So, how do we break a generational curse like that? We don't use a sledgehammer.
No sledgehammers.
Yes, sí.
Es so especial. Nunca el pastor.
We use the core frequency of love. We slowly poke the shell with kindness.
So, you decided to cook.
I decided to bridge the gap with the universal language of food. First, the Southern egg sandwich.
He was in shock. He didn't know what to do with a homemade fried egg sandwich.
But then I went deeper. I wanted to show him my heart, my heritage. I made authentic shrimp parm. My great-grandparents came from Sicily to Alabama. I brought that lineage into his Mexican kitchen.
This was the moment. I watched him. He's eating this Italian meal cooked by his American daughter-in-law, and in the house where he learned to be silent.
And he looked up.
He looked up, and the wall was gone. He said, I haven't been this happy for the longest time.
Then I immediately told him how happy that made me, and I almost cried.
That was the breakthrough. It wasn't a movie speech. It was quiet. It was real.
I got two Mexicans singing to me.
De conocerte.
Three actually, the singer.
We didn't match his silence. We didn't match his toughness. We invited him into our warmth. That is communication in action.
And he took the leftovers.
He loved it.
That's when I knew the curse was breaking. We weren't repeating the past. We were rewriting the future.
But here is the catch. The trip had to end eventually.
And this is where most people choose comfort. They have the breakthrough on vacation, and they lose it on the trip back home.
That's why the final pillar is consistency.
Se van a ir. Y son las personas que más me han hecho feliz. Te debe de dar felicidad.
Moving with grounded intention.
Leaving was hard. My dad was already in his intense emotions. The old Miguel would have pulled away to make it less painful.
But the new Miguel stayed in the present moment.
I hugged him, and the connection had shifted. I promised to keep the bridge of communication open so we could both express ourselves, even in painful moments.
We realized that the 5D compass method isn't something you just bring with you on vacation to Mexico. It's a practice you use daily to stay aligned no matter where you are.
We were back in the noise, but we weren't listening to it.
We are tuned into the 5D compass. We healed the wound of control. We rewrote the story of abandonment. We broke the curse of silence.
And we're living it daily. That is alignment in motion.
If you are feeling stuck in your own loop, or if you're carrying a heavy history,
Don't run away of fear. You just need realignment.
true growth isn't rushed. It's practice. We remembered who we are thanks to the 5D compass method.
We are Mikey and B.
Come grow with us in the Hive.
Let's go.
Vámonos!